Hey, what's up guys? My name is Philip. I'm coming at you today. We're going to be doing an oil change on one of my favorite brands, Kawasaki. And the one we're going to be doing today is a Kawasaki Z900. So the bike we have sitting in front of us, she's got 3,300 miles on her. Yes, she did have her initial oil change at 600 miles. And yes, I know what Kawasaki's manual says. Matter of fact, I have it right here in front of me so that we can read it together. It does say that the engine oil and filter can be done after the first 600 mile change at 12,000 kilometers or 7,600 miles. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't abuse my car that way, let alone a bike that I'm tacking out to 10,000 plus RPM. So we're not gonna follow that 7,600 miles. We're gonna do it at 3,300 miles, which is, you figure, close to 3,000 since the last oil change. So we're gonna be using today an oil change kit that I bought off of Amazon. It was $52. It comes with 4 quarts of the Kawasaki 10W40 performance oil, a filter. I want to say it uses a 008 filter. Just about everything from Kawasaki seems to use that, except for the H series ones. And then it comes with a new crush washer and a pretty crappy looking funnel that we're not going to be using. But we got the oil, we got the filter, we got a new crush washer, and we're going to be putting all that to use today. We also got a Motul chain care kit. We are going to clean, and we're going to lube the chain, and we're going to double check the free play in the chain as well. So, hey, let's follow along. Let's get right into it. I got my bike is already up on the stand, so I have a set of spools on my bike previously. That's what I'm holding it up with. I don't use fancy pit bull stands. Well, I do for certain bikes, but not for this. This one, I just got some cheapo Amazon stands. This bike, it weighs 400 and something pounds. I don't need anything crazy for it, so Amazon to the rescue. But what we are going to do is we're going to turn this bike on and we're going to let it run for about 2 minutes. I want it to get warm enough to thin that oil out a little bit so that it comes out better, but I don't need it like flaming ass out where it's going to burn me to death in the process. Turn her on for about 2 minutes. So while we're here, once again, we'll take a look at our mileage. And we're sitting there, we're right at 3342 is the mileage of the day. Once I start seeing it registering the temperatures and I know it's starting to get warm, I want to say it's got to be at least like 100 degrees before it'll start to register. So once again, I'm waiting to start see some numbers appearing right there under the Fahrenheit. When I do, that's when we're going to shut this engine off because we know she's starting to heat up. Alright, if we look at my gauge, we can see my coolant is now at 105, 107. It's starting to rise, so I know that oil is warm, but it's not flaming ass going to burn me to death hot. That's good enough for government work. We'll shut this bike off at that point. Now let's get underneath and get to work. Welcome to the underside of my Kawasaki. So one thing I do love about Kawas is they're very easy to work on. So we have our one drain plug, 17 millimeter. If y'all saw my video on the Africa Twin, that thing has 2 drain plugs, and that's after you get stuff out of the way. And then, of course, certain super sports, you got to take apart X amount of fairings. So I really do like these nakeds like Z900 where it's like, bam, you can just get to everything, nothing has to come off. So we're going to break this. Torque on this drain plug bolt is 21 foot-pounds. The oil filter is at 17 foot-pounds. Now, who knows how bad they're going to stick because they've been on for 3,000 miles, but hey, let's get them off. All right. Torque's broken. A little bit of dirt and funkies. Reposition this accordingly. There we go. Like I said, I wouldn't want to leave that sitting in there for 7,500 miles. I think that's just a wee bit excessive. So I don't need to wait for all that to drain before I do the filter. We can start getting this filter off as we're going. Alright, so we'll loosen it with our filter wrench, and then we'll do the rest by hand. Alright, we're going to let this drain for a little while, and then we'll prep our new filter, and we'll clean all this crap up underneath, and then get her put back together. And now that our oil is pretty much done draining, we're down to a trickle at this point. We're going to start prepping our filter, and then we're going to get a new crush washer in. So this is my old drain plug. We're going to take that washer off that was on there. We don't reuse it. Wipe everything off clean. And then we're going to put the new crush washer on. So the crush washers are aluminum. They're designed crushed down just a little bit, and they provide a seal. So there's our new crush washer. And then for the filter, once again, we're using the Kawasaki. It's the 16097 0008 filter. They use the same on the Ninja 400. They use it on my wife's Z400. They use it on the 900. It's a pretty common filter. So we've got our filter, but what we want to do is we do want to prime it. Everyone in the automotive world always primes their filters. I don't know why, but every time I watch a motorcycle video, nobody primes their filters, and it makes zero sense to me. So by priming the filter, what we're doing is we're putting a little bit of oil in it. That'll keep it from having a completely dry start. Even when the filter is sitting sideways, it's not just going to come pouring out when we're putting this filter in. So we're going to pour a little bit of oil in. Now the kicker is we're not going to go nuts pouring oil in. We're going to put some oil in. We're going to take some of that clean oil, not the dirty crap that came out of the pan, but some clean oil, and put it on the O-ring. And that will lubricate it nicely when it goes onto the block and help make a good seal. It keeps the rubber from tearing when you cinch it down. So we got our filter ready. We have our drain plug ready. Let's get this stuff installed. So we're going to install everything hand tight to begin with, and then we'll go back with the torque wrench and cinch everything down. So the first thing we're going to put on is going to be the drain plug. Once I get this drain plug started, and we start it by hand, then I can get the oil pan out of the way. Okay, so with that out of the way, I'm going to give it a few turns, and then I'm going to clean up the area. I'm using brake cleaner. Give a few squirts. Brake cleaner will pretty much just inactivate that oil that's on there. You can wipe it right up. We'll put the drain plug on finger tight. Okay, we're not going to crank it down. Now if you notice, I'm not spraying brake cleaner in the filter housing itself. Okay, that wouldn't be a smart idea. We're just going to wipe clean. We're going to grab our new filter. We're going to start screwing it in. Now, like I said before, it's not leaking oil out the bottom. It's not going to do that. The only time you ever run the risk of it, like dripping oil out of it, would be if you like filled it completely to the top. There's another piece where you always want to start it by hand. And the reason why you always want to start it by hand is you can see I had to fiddle with it just a little bit to get the right angle. It angles just barely upwards. And if you like had this on the end of a wrench or something, started cranking on it, you could easily cross thread it. So I'll get the gloves off. Kawasaki's torque spec on this is 17 foot-pounds. Okay, I don't have a end cap to put on this to torque it to 17 foot-pounds. What I can tell you is that you're not going to exceed 17 foot-pounds by turning it by hand. I mean, unless you're Eddie Hall, you just don't have the strength in your body. So we're going to do it as tight as we can by hand. And I'll be honest, it's going to be close to that measurement. Then we're going to clean it off with a little more brake cleaner. And then next, we're going to torque down our drain plug. We're going to tighten this to 21 foot-pounds. All right, there we go. Our drain plug has been reinstalled. Our new filter is in. All right, guys, welcome to the other side of my bike. This is our oil fill. I loosened it previously and just had it sitting on there. I did that because if you have this on tight, it creates a vacuum. And that vacuum makes it a little harder for the oil to come out the bottom. It does have an O-ring on it. We'll double check. I don't see any cuts or rips in the O-ring, so that's a good thing. So we'll set that down to the side. We'll put our funnel in, and then this bike is going to take 3.8 quarts of fluid. So we have 4 quarts. Those are going to take almost the whole thing. I will tell you, if you were going to err one way or another, err in putting in not quite enough oil. The reason why I say that is on these motorcycles, put in too much oil, it generally relieves it by blowing it out through like the air filter housing, and you don't want that. Too much oil, not a good thing. All right, if anything, you want it the low side of acceptable. All right, and you can tell it's a little bit of a tedious process, so this will take a few minutes. All right, that's 1 quart. I'm gonna do the other 2.8 off camera. All right, so we finished putting our oil in. Once again, we were using the Kawasaki 10W40 conventional oil. It was 3.8 quarts that we put into it. So now that the oil's back in, we are going to put the drain plug back in. And like I said, we checked that O-ring before to make sure that it was in one piece. Cinch that down, hand tight. Nothing crazy. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on the bike. We're going to let it run for about 3 minutes or so. And we're going to check and make sure we don't have any leaks. After the bike comes up to temperature, we'll check and see what our oil level is in our sight glass. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on the bike. We're going to let it run for about 3 minutes. We want to circulate that new oil through the bike. Then we're going to shut it off, give it about 2 minutes to let everything drain back in the sump. And at that point, we'll check the oil level. During this 3-minute run-up, one of the important things I'm going to do is I'm going to look underneath the bike and I'm going to make sure that there aren't any leaks going on. So, nothing on the drain plug, nothing on the oil filter. Okay, so in order to check my oil level, I'm going to have to take the bike off of the rear stand, and I'm going to have to have the bike sitting straight up and down. So first things first, let's get her off the rear stand. I always secure my hand on the rear of the bike so that I can help guide it onto the kickstand side as I bring it down. So we bring it down nice and gentle. I'm helping guide it. And there we go. Now, my block of wood is here because I want this bike sitting level. So at this point, this is straight up and down. And you can see that oil, I don't want it to be at the upper limit. And the reason being, if I put it at the upper limit, as I get thermal expansion, it tends to blow the excess oil out through the air vents. That creates a mess. It's just not good for the bike. There's no need to do it. That's why I said, if anything, err on the side of being just on the low end of normal. You don't want it low, but on the low end of normal. The last task we're going to do is we're going to clean our chain, and then we're also going to measure the free play on the chain, make sure it doesn't need any adjustments. So, to measure the chain free play, the information is almost always listed on the swing arm itself. So this bike is listed right here. And it says, make sure to measure midway between the sprockets. It says do it when the motorcycle is on the side stand. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I've checked it on the side stand, off to the side stand. It really makes no difference. It's almost always the same. We're looking for 25 to 35 millimeters. So I have a ruler. I'm going to pick a point where I have an easy reference. If I pick right here, I'm sitting at 45 millimeters. So when I pull up, it goes up to 15. So from 45 to 15, we're talking 10, 20, 30. So we're right at 30, and I'm allowed 25 to 35. So I'm dead nuts right in the center. That's exactly what I want. We are going to lube the chain now. What we're going to use is the Motul Clean and Lube Kit. So the Motul Road Chain Care Kit, it was $32 on Amazon. It comes with an awesome 3-way brush, a can of cleaner, a can of lube. It also came with a goofy pair of gloves, but we're not using those. But we're going to use the chain clean, and then we're going to follow it up with the lube. I used it on the Africa Twin earlier today. Works really good. Alright, nothing special. We're just gonna spray the cleaner around. Put it in the brush. I'm basically going to work around until the whole chain is kind of damp. And then after the whole chain's damp with the cleaner, I'll spin it several times. When we clean the chain, these chains are sealed. What we're cleaning is we're helping to get the gunk out. Surface contaminants, like rust that could form on it, but when we lube it, what we're actually lubing is the O-rings that form the seals in these sealed chains. So we've got the whole thing with cleaner on it, and we're just going to spin this a few times. Let the bristles do their work. When we're done, we'll take a clean rag and use this to clean dirt and leftover cleaner off of this chain. And you can see the amount of crap that's coming off, so it was pretty gnarly. Alright, my rag looks like hell, but my chain's actually looking a lot nicer now. Putting the lube on is very similar to the cleaner. However, we are not going to use a brush, and I'm going to be more careful and more deliberate. I don't want to get the lube on the wheel itself or on the tire. The cleaner will evaporate, this lube will not. If you have excess chain lube, it kind of splatters everywhere. It just makes a big stinking mess. Doesn't actually help anything at that point. All right, so I'm to the point I'm all the way around. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold this, find a clean spot of rag. I'm gonna spray some lube on it. That'll be plenty. I'll grip all the way around so it's hitting the back, the top and the sides. And just spin that wheel. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty comfortable with that. And this is gonna end our job. So at this point, we've done our oil change. We've checked our chain tension. We lubed the chain, cleaned the chain. We're good to go until, in this case, when this bike hits 6,000 miles, we'll do a repeat. We'll do the same stuff all over again. Once again, I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully somebody found this useful. And we'll have more content coming up. It's going to be BMW content, but we're going to do some pretty exciting stuff with that car here in this next month. Appreciate y'all watching. Take care.